Ladies and gentlemen, the show is about to begin. The Irish Spaghetti Podcast. Like and subscribe. Please enjoy the show.
Born for greatness, but separated by birth, they have found each other once more. They will hunt, tracking game like a Cherokee Indian. No girls allowed. A complete rebuke of the feminine man paradigm. With great penis comes great responsibility. Look out, world. Real men are back. Total badasses. There will be guns. There will be violence. Step aside, John Wick. On December 7th, get ready for Irish Spaghetti. Eat shit and die.
Yes. Oh wait, I'm screaming.
I'm gonna rip your head off and shit down your neck.
Am I fucking this up?
No. I can cut anything, dude. This is all gonna be gold.
You could cancel me out in the background anyway, right? Okay.
This is fucking hilarious, man. Oh my god.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Irish Spaghetti Podcast. We're your hosts, Billy G, Nikki P. Nick, how are you?
Never better in all of my days.
Here we go, baby.
I say
31.
I say that every day, and every day it's true.
Not that, but that's good,
Every day
man.
it's true. I just go up. Unlike the stock market, just straight up, dude. If my life was charted on a graph, it would go born, and then there's like a little squiggly here, and then just
Mountains,
I get
baby.
nosebleeds. I'm so high up, buddy. I get nosebleeds.
Holy shit, just flying,
I'm like,
man.
oh my god, why is my nose bleeding? All that success.
Mr. Happy fucking flying, baby.
We're on
There we
unemployment.
go. I'm thinking that the whole time. I'm
Killing
like,
the world,
really?
bitch.
Yeah,
Killing
man.
the world. No, I'm trying to go with this new culture of just constantly bragging about yourself no matter what your situation is.
That's our biggest problem right now is overconfidence. That's
Overconfidence.
literally. Do you know that we're like number 57 in education, but number 1 in confidence? So not only are we
Wait.
stupid, but we're proud of it.
How many states are there?
I meant countries.
We're below
Hey, listen.
the amount of states.
Listen, I just told you I'm involved in it too. Okay.
We're bringing down the IQ of the entire country.
Listen, I just proved my point, my friend.
Oh my god.
Look, I just proved my point. I said that dumb shit like this.
I wake up in the morning and I piss excellence. Every day is
Oh
the best
my
day of my
God.
life.
So 31, Nick. Are
31
we flying
guys.
along or what?
31.
Buddy?
Out of the ballpark. Every episode's the best episode
Are we
we've
just,
ever done,
Are we
too.
just calling? We're just Babe Ruth calling it. Just,
Yes.
what isn't there? Is Babe Ruth? Didn't he have another name? Like, was that his real name? Do you ever hear that? Shit?
No, his real name wasn't Babe, I don't think.
Yeah. What's his real name?
Probably like Willie Ruth.
Some stupid, right? Yeah.
Bob Ruth.
It's funny though because there's always like
Stephen Ruth.
like Cassius Clay. You know what I mean?
Cassius Clay was a great fucking name though, man. I mean, Muhammad Ali is the shit. But
Yeah.
Cassius Clay, that's a dope name. Cassius?
Malcolm X is kind of a cool name too, though, right?
With the X.
Yeah, you know.
Otherwise, you're just
I'm
Malcolm.
sorry to give it, but that shit sounds dope. Malcolm. You ever seen that movie? You ever seen the Spike Lee Malcolm X?
No.
Dude, he was gangster, buddy.
Wasn't Denzel in it?
Hell yeah, Denzel was in it. See, there's
Denzel,
another
yeah,
guy, right?
man.
Yeah, dude. Oh, it's so good, man. Another one we were talking about. We were having a long conversation about slaves earlier. Another one, and that'll segue us into it. Another one was, dude, 12 Years a Slave. I'm telling you, I will recommend that again.
It's a classic.
You know what's so funny though?
I've never seen Roots either.
Oh, dude. Oh, hey, listen, I watched every single episode of Roots. I loved it, dude. I'm telling you, it was amazing. And you're like, episode, right? Yeah. That was the original, like, Netflix series, homie. That was in the 90s. It was a made for TV movie.
And
there was
watch
like
it.
4 parts. It was amazing.
I'm going to watch that. I'm going to watch 12 Years as a Slave. So, all right. So, because of the, like, racism, was it? Obsession that we have in this country.
Absolutely.
Like everyone's talking about all the time. Like,
yes.
I've been in like 100,000 arguments with people that I know, friends and family and all that. And everyone has like their own version of history. So because of this, I have gone down the rabbit hole. I bought 2 books. One of them is like 500 pages thick of the entire history of slavery. Another one is just about African-American slavery and like their whole history, if you will. I'm going to read all of them. I'm going to be talking about it on the show because I'm tired of people just coming with their own bullshit history. I just want to know the truth.
Yeah.
And I don't care what it is. I have no opinion yet. I'm going to read it with an open mind. I have my history and my documentaries that I've watched and what I've established to be the truth, but I'm going to do a deep dive on it. I'm actually going to look into it, which most people don't fucking do, and find out really what it is.
Yeah, I think everybody
Really what it
has
is,
like this surface level understanding of what,
Nobody
slavery
picks up
was.
a fucking book, dude. Everyone
Yeah.
just talks their shit. They have their third hand information that they get. And they develop their opinions, but I'm gonna do the work. I'm gonna do the heavy lifting. I wish I had the book right here, man. I'd show it to the people.
Hell, I'll tell you one better. I wish I did own slaves.
Free labor. What's not to love?
Wait a minute, that's a bad thing. Yeah, you know.
I'm at chapter 4 of the book, and so far in the history of slavery, everyone has owned everybody.
Yeah.
Is basically the bottom line of that.
Absolutely. Where did it begin? I mean, did anything about Asia as well?
Yeah, that's coming next.
Yeah.
So far, it's basically like we were cavemen and we were like hunter gatherers and all that shit. Then we learned how to like farm and irrigate and like develop more food than we needed. So like there was like, I guess like renegade peoples and tribes all over the place, but it wasn't easy to live back then. So it was actually conducive to a lot of people that were on their own to give themselves to like cultures that were more prosperous.
Yeah.
Right. So they don't have to like fend for themselves out in the
Sure.
wilderness, if you will.
Yeah.
And they would give their labor as payment. And that was kind of the birth of slavery. It became like a trade thing. There's laws and all kinds. It's
Like,
very
can
intricate.
I come with you guys? I'll clean these. I'll do
Basically,
this.
yes. Yeah. Basically.
You know when it started? It was with cave people, and this dude's over there eating a brontosaurus dick, like they just caught it, and like this big guy Yagnar.
The dick meat is the most tender.
Yeah, if you cook it just right, it's delicious. And this big guy Yagnar walks over there, and he's like, "This cave is dirty. It must be clean." And this dude's just sitting there eating a brontosaurus dick, and he looks up and he goes, "Yeah, you clean it." And the dude's
just
like,
bigger.
"Yeah," and he's like, "All right, I was gonna finish this." He's like, "You know what? I'm gonna eat that too. No, you go clean the cave." And there you go. Slavery was born.
Banged his wife.
Ain't it funny that like everything began like that though? You know what I mean? Like all these things that like trampled nations for the rest of the world was kind of just an idea at one point. Like,
dude,
yeah, we should do that.
I will say this though, like since I'm about like 50 pages in, I've learned a little bit about the history. All right, so our perception of slavery is from the modern times of like, oh, you shouldn't own people, like that's terrible. When you read the history of it, it makes sense how it came to be and why it was integrated as part of society. We're so far removed from it that it's unthinkable to us.
Yeah.
But in those terms, it actually made sense, dude.
Yeah.
And it wasn't it's not what you guys think. Get the book, man. It's not what you guys think. I'm going to keep reading it. I'll keep telling you about it like I said before, but it's not what people thought.
So
it wasn't.
it became this inherently evil thing, but it didn't start.
Not
this
at all.
way.
It was
Okay.
it was generally accepted throughout all the world. It was like a normal like way of doing business. It actually solved a lot of problems, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
It became insidious and it became taken advantage of as time goes on because power corrupts, right? We all know that. So if you have like true power over someone, you're gonna like your personality is gonna shift and change and get fucked up. But that's not how it started. There was actually a lot of like really good laws about like for the most part, the beginning times of slavery, it was more contractual work. So, like, you could have a slave for like 3 years. On the 4th year, you had to let them go free and give them back to their family and all that stuff. They would offer themselves up as slaves. They would actually choose to be slaves instead of choosing to be free. Most of them were treated very well for the most part.
To
throughout
pay
like,
off
the cultures.
debts and shit.
Yeah, a lot of it was like a form of trade. That's all it was, man. And it was more like
I mean, if you had nothing else to give, and you're like, well, what about time?
But it was like everyone was taking part of it of their own volition in a certain way, according to the book that I've read so far.
Yeah.
It's not just like this terrible thing where you just go and club a motherfucker and drag him from his family and shoot his wife in the head and then make him work for you for free. It wasn't that. It was an agreement for the most part.
Yeah. I just think everybody wants to say this was the worst and this was the worst and this was the worst.
Where it kind of shifted was after a certain point in society when we got good at like irrigation and farming and all that stuff. Yeah. Then we got settled into our lands instead of traveling around like, you know, like if the weather's bad here, you go here to get food and blah, blah, blah. And when we were able to settle, like, you know, so when we were able to settle, basically like cities grew bigger and bigger and become self-sustained, but they needed more labor to sustain that. So then conquerors came around. Then they started like just conquering tribes and villages and integrating their people into their own. And it became like regular business. So it was understood in ancient times that one day you could be a slave owner and the next day you could be the slave. So like no one had this like higher mentality. It wasn't about racism at all. It wasn't like this like holier than that, like I'm better than your people. It was just like the way of the world. Yeah. So like you would like, so me and you say we were like really tough warriors or some shit like this. Yeah. We would get on our horses and conquer a town, take the women, take all their goods, integrate them into our thing, whatever, create a village. Then a more powerful village
burn
would
the
come.
school.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. Yeah. And then a more powerful village would come and then take your shit over. Now you're the fucking slave. So it was like on any given day that equation could shift.
That's how shit just was back then.
Yeah,
right?
That's all it was. Yeah. It's just how it was back then.
Yeah. Jeez Louise, man, you know. You know what the closest thing to slavery now is when I pull up to U-Haul and I walk up to the Mexican dudes chilling across the street and I walk over and I go, two, and I'll like slap and I'll go, two. And then he'll go, yeah. And I'll go, 5-bedroom house, $20, 5-bedroom house, $20. Just joking.
He's not joking.
No, bullshit.
He's not
I always
joking.
pay those guys good. I always get, listen, I always had that. And believe me, they wouldn't be standing out there if they didn't want to be hired. You know how much I give those guys? I always get 2 of them and I always give them $150 a piece. And no matter what the job is.
A slice of pizza and a thank you.
Yeah. No, they won't accept pizza. Look at me. Yo, they will not accept pizza.
Pizza's
If
the
you
best.
bust out pizza now, I think people for so long have been like, hey, I gave you the pizza too. That now if you offer them anything, I swear to God, if you're like, yeah, hey, I got a pizza, they're like, no, I don't want to eat. I don't want your pizza.
I'll take the
I want
money.
my money. I want money. I swear, dude. I'm telling you.
Are you serious?
I swear to you, dude. I swear they will not accept pizza. Go ahead. Go out there, hire some Mexicans from you all. And now it's all, now they're by the book. Now they can like kind of name their price.
I come out back dressed like Chuck E. Cheese. I just have a slice and I'm like, so we're good, right?
Yeah. And you eat it.
You missed a weed.
Exactly, man. But yeah, they won't accept no fucking snacks. Drinks, sure, but no snacks. But the guys that I know, because I've moved so many times in my life, now I got Cuba. He's like this big old black dude. He's obviously from Cuba. Monster, bro. I swear to God, man, this dude is like in his 60s now. I've been using him for years. This dude, his body, I don't know what's like inside of him. Like he takes like the entire bed piece, like throws it on his shoulder, and and I'm saying he's in his 60s. It's like he's like indestructible at this point, right? Like he's been doing this day in, day out from sunrise till sunset.
He's a machine.
He's a monster, right? Like if he grabbed somebody by the throat and squeezed, he'd crush your neck bones. He's gotta be, right?
Dude, there's different types of strength. Like there's people that are yoked that work out and you're strong in the gym.
Yeah.
But there's all right, so like professional wrestlers, they're way stronger than regular people because of their understanding of balance and leverage and like how to position their bodies. Yeah. It's not just muscle strength.
Yeah. And regular wrestlers too, like Greco-Roman. Those kids were always the toughest kids in school, dude. Their core is just so powerful.
You could get a guy that deadlifts 700 pounds and he'll get tossed around by one
Absolutely.
of them.
Yeah.
Like a child.
Yeah. My I tell you all the time, my daughter does jujitsu and she's like really well into it. And her and her friend were wrestling around and her friend was saying something like, I'll beat you. And my daughter, it was, and forget, I mean, it's confidence. You've been training this long. You've obviously earned it.
You just know what to do.
Yeah. And my daughter's like, listen, like, I'm telling you, like, I know you, like, they kind of got in an argument and she's like, no, I could be. And my daughter's like, listen, I know you think you can. I completely get that. She's like, but you can't. Did we just cut out?
No.
Okay.
I'm listening.
Okay. She's like, I know you think you can, but you can't. Yeah. You can't fuck me on that level. Like
trained versus untrained.
I've been doing this since I was a little kid. I remember we brought her in the gym and she'd sit on the little blue mats and stuff like that. And she'd be like all nodding off. And one day it just clicked on her. And like I said, man, that's never been me. I've never been the type to, I think my microphone cut out.
No, I think it's your headset.
Okay, beautiful. All right, but yeah, man. But she was.
You're still good. The levels are there.
Beautiful. Yeah, she was telling her friend that she's like, they got in an argument, and I remember having like the same arguments with my friends, like no, man, I could do this, I could do this. I never had that confidence where it was like, listen, I know what I can, you know what I mean?
People that have no training often way overestimate their abilities.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that until like my family like does boxing and stuff like that. I trained. I'm not like a fucking like professional or anything like that, but I have hands. And like I would have friends come to my house and like hit the bag with me and stuff. If you don't know how to throw a punch, you can't throw a fucking punch at all. It's crazy, dude.
It's hard. It's not an easy thing to do.
I would spar with people and they would be like clunky and like sweeping their punches and they would hit me and I'm like, what the fuck is that? So it's like that kinetic energy of how to transfer power and how to let that go and like catching them at the end of the punch, using your shoulder and your waist. It's not natural. Actually, most of fighting is like the opposite of your instincts. Don't pull away, lean in. You know what I'm saying? Like things like this.
Yeah,
it's wild.
I told you about that time I boxed my buddy Cameron. He rests in peace now, but I boxed him and he's been again just another kid that was like this young boy that his dad took him to a boxing school and he got trained and I remember we boxed in his living room. For some reason I had it in my head. I'm like I could take Cameron.
Because you watch karate movies and Power Rangers and shit when you're a kid. You're like, dude, I can emulate that.
And not only that, at that point I had been in like fights before. I did okay
with other regulars.
Exactly. And I remember, dude, he picked me apart in two things I noticed. One is that I had nothing on this dude. Number two is that I was exhausted. And I was in good shape at this point. I was exhausted. And I remember he was kind of just standing there like taking off his stuff, you know, doing anything. And I got my ass beat. And I once again, I am not an egotistical person. I'm not Mr. Macho
dude,
where I don't care. I congratulated and I was like, dude, I want to like learn how to do that.
How helpless do you feel when you're in there?
Oh, dude, like honestly, like a baby. Like,
dude.
like just knowing that he could basically he what would you call that? Like kind of like chose exactly how he wanted this whole thing to go.
Yes.
Yeah. That's all there was to it.
When I was like training and sparring and all that shit against in my family, that's where I learned it. I moved to Montana for a few years and I met a guy named Matt Halverson. Shout out to Matt. I love that dude. I hope he's listening. But he was a professional boxer, Irish guy. He was a super middleweight, about 6 foot tall, about 180 pounds, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, he's like, my gym clothes. I need someone to help me spar with. And I'm like, yeah, man, I'll come over and have a good time with you and all that. Dude, we started sparring. The difference in our skill was immediately apparent. Like I was trying to chase him down and hit him, and he wasn't even like attacking; he was just defending.
Yeah,
dude, I'm fast. I threw a hand out. He literally moved back and swatted my fucking
like,
hand away. He was almost behind me before I could even fucking react.
Yeah,
it was insane. The skill difference was so. He knew where to be, when to be there, like how to feint, how to move, how to cut angles, all the stuff that I didn't really know at that point. And he's a professional.
Yeah,
so it was like night and day. I literally felt like a child.
Yeah.
I felt like a child.
Same
I felt
here.
like a fucking child, dude.
Dude, you know what I wanted? I knew I agreed to it and I knew I was all confident at first. I remember like once like he hit me a couple times, I knew I just wanted it over. But then there's pride. You know, you don't want to go and run away. So I kind of just took my legs and finally he's like, "You good? You good?" And dude, it's just, and you know what sucks is he wasn't even being a dick. It wasn't like it wasn't a bully thing or anything like that.
No, it's just what he does.
He had the gloves, and I said, you want to box? And he did what he does, and that's it. You know what I mean? Yeah, just pick me apart. That was it. But honestly, I'm not the type of person to like look at that and go, it motivated me. I'm like, dude, I want to know how to do that.
I've had that experience in the opposite direction before. So like after I got like semi-proficient at boxing and I had good footwork and like I was fast and all that, a buddy of mine, his name was Jason Vandermanden, and we grew up together. And he was like, tough guy, did a lot of manual labor, built in shape, street fighter, all that shit.
Yeah.
And I was always way smaller than him growing up, and I was still smaller at the time. And he saw like my confidence grow, and he kind of like got like a switch turn on. He's like, "Oh, you think you're so badass with all this boxing? He's like, I'll knock you out with one fucking punch. I don't care if you block. I'll break your guard." So I was like, "All right, Jason." I'm like, "Come over to my house. We'll put gloves on. We'll go in my garage and we'll spar." I just moved into this house, so
yeah.
We're in the garage. On the right wall, if we're facing this way, on the right wall, there was a bunch of boxes I hadn't unpacked yet. And we were squared up. And I'm like, I'm going to put you against those boxes and I'm going to fucking break you. I'm going to drop you against those boxes.
You Billy jacked him?
Yeah. So we square up because he doesn't know about feinting. He doesn't know about any of the shit, dude, right? So we square up and I'm kind of moving, right? So he goes to throw a punch. I take a half step back. I'm trapping him, right? He throws a punch again. I take another half step back. He punches again. I take another half step back. I'm starting to condition him for that reaction. So he starts getting brave. So he steps in with a big one, and I fake a half step back, and I snap a jab. Bam! And his face leans into the jab. His head snaps back, and he's dazed. So what you do is like I step to his right, my left. So when you do that, they level with you. So he changed directions. So when I stepped, he stepped, and I put him against the boxes. And I started like working him back. As soon as his back hit the boxes, I hit him with body shots. I didn't want to hurt him too bad. Just bam, bam, bam. And he took a fucking knee and he crumbled. And he was like, dude, teach me how to box. And I started training him how to box, man.
Yeah.
And it's not pride. It's not pride.
No.
It's skill versus no skill. That's all it is.
That's it.
And I'm not even saying like the baddest dude ever. I had way more ability than he had.
Yeah. And that's what it, and there's nothing to be mad at there. You know what I mean?
No, dude.
Yeah.
Not at all.
But there's a lot of fragile egos out there that just get upset with stuff.
I'll say it like this: the will to fight is not the same as the ability to do so.
Yeah.
Like you could be down.
Yeah, you could be all
scrappy.
hard.
You could be
Yeah.
tough. You could be all that crap. You could be all hard. But if you can't fight, you're gonna get killed.
Nah, and I've seen that before. We had this little guy that got into a fight with one of our bigger friends, and he was just getting his ass whipped, and he kept getting back up. And he's like, nah, and eventually everyone's like, stop, like, come on, like this is not
Like
good.
Cool Hand Luke.
Yeah, dude, it just kept going, and that was it. And at this point, my buddy just got same one. My buddy just got out of prison. Just, dude, I'm telling you, I've never seen a transformation like that in my life. Just this tall, lanky kid goes into prison, a boy comes out this down ass man, and that was it. And those two didn't like each other forever.
Nature versus nurture.
Yes, dude. Yes.
Also, the best people to fight are people that don't know how to fight but are jacked.
Yeah.
They trust. Muscle does not win fights.
No.
It doesn't win fights. Actually, the most success I ever had was against like really jacked people that were kind of bigger.
Yeah.
Because they gas out super fast. They're a lot slower than they realize. They have no kinetic energy. They can't turn their punches over. And they're easy to just piece up, dude.
Devin Haney was talking to that dude just the other day.
My
I
God.
don't know if you guys saw that.
Perfect.
But
Bradley
yeah.
Martin.
Yeah. Yeah, and Bradley Martin's like a bodybuilder, and he was getting all
Giant.
pissed off with Devin Haney. Dude, he's a
Tell him what happened
professional.
first.
Yeah. So he's on his podcast and they're talking, everything's going good. And I think it came down to like, I think I could take you or something like that to Devin Haney. He's like, dude, you don't say something like that. If you're not a professional boxer, you don't say that to a professional boxer because it
He
just
was like
doesn't
in
work.
a street fight, and he was like, I will hit you so many times.
That
and
would be
so
his
hard.
worst nightmare.
He's like, before you even get near me, he's like, I'm telling you, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Dude, you're better off throwing some 16-ounce gloves on with some headgear than going anywhere near this dude with bare knuckles, because now you're probably gonna die.
He's like,
you're gonna die.
He was especially bare knuckle. He's like, you don't even understand. He's like, what I could do.
Yeah.
He's like, Devin Haney's like 150 pounds soaking wet, and Bradley Martin's probably like 260, giant bodybuilder dude. And he was like, I guarantee you, I hit harder than you.
It would just be more to hit. That's all they're doing. And
he's
you know
like, and he said, he's like, I'm not saying you're not strong.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm just saying that I can hit harder.
and the dude was like, he's like, I've been hit, and he's like, yeah, not by me.
a professional
Yeah,
boxer.
yeah.
Get out of here, man. You got to know where your place is, dude.
I think it's dumb.
Well,
right?
it's
I
just-
don't know.
It's
Like-
just pride and ego and ignorance. That's all
Yeah.
it is, man.
Yeah.
He's not saying he's better than you. I mean, if Bradley Martin trained to be a boxer for 10 years or
Sure.
whatever,
He was like
There's
like a
weight classes for a reason.
Yeah, like a light heavyweight or something like that.
he
Sure.
would kill him, man.
Absolutely.
He's just saying, he's like, you as an untrained guy who's stocky and built like that, he's like, I'm going to piece you up.
Yeah.
Long before.
And that's why they have weight classes in boxing. It's okay. You know what I mean? It's gonna
fine.
be yeah.
It's fine.
So you know, and even we kind of like started that. I don't know how we went with slavery for that, but how that was going, man, is California's considering a new bill to pay $800 billion to reparations to black families, black people, black incarcerated people. They're talking about paying $800 billion. So
That'll fix everything.
these people that have never owned slaves. Yeah, I know that's going to be wonderful for everybody. People that never owned slaves are now going to foot the bill for reparations. And what there?
What's going to happen
Is all forgiven?
No.
That's it.
It's going to be
Yeah.
all forgiven.
Yeah.
They're all going to become private business owners. They're going to be very successful. All their problems will disappear. There will be no more violence.
Yeah.
There will be no more looting. There will be no more robbing. They will become the salt of the earth, of the pillars
Yeah.
of the community.
Yeah.
All they needed was a couple of bucks,
I'm sensing
guys.
some sarcasm in there, Nick. You know,
I don't think that plan would work for anyone.
No,
It's like,
I've seen what happens when you throw a bunch of money at shit. It never works. It never ends good.
Yeah.
It makes everything worse. In fact, just keep throwing money at it, trying to
and
make.
by the way, this isn't a race thing. If you give anyone who is
Exactly.
poor and uneducated a bunch of money, they're not going to know how to invest. They're not going to know how to spend it. They won't have the business or the financial acumen to make it last. What they're going to do is they're going to satisfy all their wants and desires they've had for the last 20 years, spend all the money like any athlete that makes a shit ton of money and be broke again in the future. So let me just say this. California, if you give them the reparations, fine. I don't give a shit. Give it to them. But also train them on how to spend it properly and how to use it and how to invest. And then that way there'll be no excuse at the end of it. If you blow it, you blow it.
And by the way, I'm sorry, but I just don't think that's California's biggest problem right now. Look around. Look at every major city in California. It's a nightmare.
It's not the $18 gallon of gas.
Dude, yeah. There's so many other issues going on there. And that's I think their budget's $300 million. So it's going way above. So what's gonna happen? They're gonna dig a hole in their pocket, and then they're gonna wind up asking everybody else for money, and they're gonna ask them to bail them out again and again and again. I mean, damn, dude. Oh my God. How is this a conversation right now? And it's real.
Do you know, this is going to be so fucking controversial, but I have to tell the truth.
Say it.
Do you know what I would do when they pass that law and give them the reparations? I would buy stock in all the companies where they spend money, because they're going to buy fucking shoes. They're going to buy clothes. They're going to buy jewelry.
Food,
they're going to buy
that,
watches. All the shit that we all want to do. But I guarantee you they won't invest a dime. And the only thing that's going to happen is they're going to take that money and make their white overlords even richer.
Exactly.
Even richer. They're going to spend it. The people that own these companies are not them. They're going to give all the money to them. They're going to end up with nothing, and these companies are going to get richer and richer, and we're going to be back in the same fucking place.
Yeah. What do you call it? Nike and Adidas and Balenciaga. All that's just going to jet right up. There you go. Yeah.
Dude, if you gave
Amazon.
If you gave countless millions of dollars to my dumbass people, my Italian folk, if you will, you know who's going to make all the money? The people that make fucking tank tops.
Yeah. Well,
Rouse fucking spaghetti sauce.
Well, that's my point. I don't think anybody should get money just because of race. Nobody. That's ridiculous.
But you know
man.
what, though? You know, if you want to try it, but can we put it to bed after that? Can that be like a case study?
I think if they do it once, all that's going to do is open the door for, well, we wanted more. We deserve more. We want more. Now let's do New York. Now let's do Nevada. Now let's do, and they're going to want it. And they're going to want it. It's just going to open the door to this never-ending loophole of shit. Mm-hmm. And that's all there is to it.
That reminds me, I'm actually quoting a bit. I didn't even realize it. Remember when Dave Chappelle did that bit where they all get reparations? And like menthol, what was it? Cool cigarette stock goes up super high. And do you remember? You don't remember this?
I know the Clinton Bigsby
No.
thing.
Dave Chappelle did a bit on his show, on the Chappelle show, where he gives everyone reparations and they spend all the money on dumb shit. He literally exactly what I'm saying right now. So you can't call me racist. He did it first.
Yeah.
He did it first.
Simpsons did it.
He's like, I bought this baby cash. You don't remember that shit? No. And then the one who's driving the menthol cool cigarette truck or whatever, he's like, he's like, why are you still working? He's like, I'm not working. I bought this truck, baby. Yes,
that is too funny,
yes,
dude.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how that goes. It's not. Again, I mean, there's the end game. The end doesn't justify the means. There's nothing going to be good about it. It's going to be all bad. I mean, fine. It's a comeuppance for once. Okay, all right, great. But you're right. What does that stop? It's not going to end good.
It's political posturing.
Everybody's just going to shake hands and go, okay, you know what? You did this. You did right by us. We're good now. We're okay.
That's like that the Family Guy sketch where they free the slaves, and like the day they free them, the one slave is like standing in front of the slave owner, and he's free now. And he's like, so we're good, right? He just looks at me, so we're cool, right?
Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, don't look back at any of this, right? Like, you know, let bygones be bygones. You know?
Oh my god.
Oh man, that's so weird to me, though, man.
Don't cancel me, bro. Don't cancel me. We're gonna be fine.
You know what? All right, now this is again. I don't want to make this whole episode too heavy, so I got some other stuff out there. So I'd rather just knock this out of the way. Jordan Neely, New York's like on fire right now.
Who is Jordan Neely?
Jordan Neely is a philanthropist, a pillar of the community. His work, he's such a mensch. He's done work in like a lot of like humanitarian.
He's a mensch.
Stuff. No, he's a homeless dude that nobody gave a shit about 5 days ago. They would walk by him and spit on him. Meant nothing. Society failed and nobody cared about him.
All right, so guys, like this is a brand new story to me. I don't check the news. He does all that, and then he brings me in.
Yeah.
What the fuck is a Jordan Neely?
I mean, no. I promise you. He's a homeless guy. He he rode the subways in New York, and he
wasn't a person before like last week.
No, he's a nobody. A nobody that nobody gave a shit about.
Well, how'd they find him?
Okay, I'm gonna explain this.
Okay.
So he would do how he made money for soups and shit every day. He did Michael Jackson impersonations on the New York subway, right? Well, I guess he was having a real crazy day because he was also a nut job. He tried to kidnap. Again, he's just such a normal guy. He tried to kidnap some 7-year-old girl a couple of years back. Got arrested for it. He had like this super long rap sheet. Basically, he's a vagrant in New York City, right? To sum it all up, he's a vagrant in New York City.
George Floyd.
Yeah, same shit. So he goes on the subway and he starts threatening people. And he's threatening this girl and he's threatening this guy. And all of a sudden, some dude that just wasn't taking it today, he threatened me. He's like, this Marine. And I guess he like went to attack him. The Marine gets on him and he puts him in a chokehold and he's holding him. And I don't know what he's worked up and the dude's all crazy and stuff like that. So you know how you're running out of breath way quicker and you're all moving around and you're going crazy and stuff like that. Well, he winds up choking him to death. Okay. But I don't care, man. In that situation, out of the two guys, the guy that wasn't starting any bullshit or having any issues with anybody, or the crazy guy, I'm sorry, but it's the crazy guy every time. If you're gonna choose who ends up with the shorter end of the stick, it's the crazy guy that's fucking messing with everybody's day and attacking people.
And this
That's
patriot.
it. And this patriot
Comes out of the woodwork.
And
now he's
makes
got a
everybody
body on his
safer
record.
on it.
And now he has this court case.
Yes.
He's the victim.
Oh, dude, they want to lock. They literally want to lock him up, throw the way. So now New Yorkers, because again, you know what I mean. Everything that's going on in New York, again, with all the shit that's happening, all the awful things and all the drugs and everything that's run rampant in the community. This seems to be the thing that ticks everybody off. So they went in today and they basically, you know, they're protesting and rioting and doing all this shit for this literally people that would walk by him every day. The same ones that did nothing to help him in life are now using his death to steal shit, rob things,
He
set things on
tried
fire. Yeah.
To kidnap a child.
Yeah, a couple years ago, but yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
Exactly.
Done.
Yes, done. He tried to kidnap a 7-year-old.
Lock
and got arrested
him
for
up.
that. Yeah. Yeah. Why wasn't he locked up still? If I went and tried to kidnap a little girl, where we live right now, if I went and tried to kidnap a little girl, I'd still be in prison. Right?
You got an ice cream truck?
Yeah. Hello, young lady. Would you like chocolate or vanilla? Bam! Oh, my God. Oh, that's terrible. But yeah, but there you go. I wanted to get that out of the way. We had to say something about it.
Do you think we could air this, or is this too controversial?
This ain't controversial. No. Who cares?
I feel like it's okay.
No, we play everything, no matter what. If it pisses people off, that's fine.
Your boy's a drinker.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God, from gut to mouth. Right?
Yeah.
I think it, I feel it, I say it.
Boom.
That's all it is.
Thank you. That's it. All right, we could pretty much end that. That's literally what I wanted to say. I just wanted to at least mention him. Hold on one second.
What the fuck is that?
Okay. All right, and then so all right, getting into something a little bit else, but Sugar Sean O'Malley, his next fight. We love that kid, by the way. His next fight's going to be Aljamain Sterling.
Aljamain Sterling. He just beat Henry Cejudo. Senry.
Yeah, I'm glad you
Henry
said
Cejudo.
it.
Triple C. From what I understand, it was a good fight. I didn't see the entire thing. I just saw the post-fight interviews and all that. Sean O'Malley's coming next for the title. Everyone thinks that Sean O'Malley's going to get his ass beat. I'm not sure. He's a great striker. He's a very talented guy. He's strong as shit. Stronger than he looks. And I'm really looking forward to that
Well,
fight.
yeah, but it's either he
But the
comes out
wrestling,
and
man.
dominates or he doesn't. It's weird,
no,
man.
when
he shows up or not. Like with Peter Yan and
that was a great fight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Against a great champion.
Absolutely. And I know he got hurt with his foot with Cheeto Vera and stuff
That's
like
all
that.
that was.
Oh, man.
He was beating the brakes off that guy until his foot got hurt.
Yeah.
And I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying the guy is formidable.
Yeah.
He's a talented, really
his
dangerous
striking's
fighter.
amazing.
He's second to none in MMA.
How do you
Except for
learn
Adesanya.
like that? Yeah. Like his style's unorthodox, right? Like the way he does things and stuff. It's so weird.
It's unorthodox for MMA. It's correct for striking and boxing in general. Like
so he's got a boxing background, and that's why he's so good with it.
He understands distance. He understands timing. He understands setting traps. He knows how to throw a punch. He knows how to catch you on the end of his punch. He understands ring generalship. Dude, he's way more skilled than most people. If that kid could wrestle, if he was a little bit bigger, he'd be the greatest fighter in the fucking UFC right now.
So what do you think? You got him still, no matter what. I got him.
It's a pick'em fight.
Yeah.
I think Aljamain Sterling on paper should win that fight because of his wrestling background and because he's tenacious and he has a great gas tank and he is strong.
And he's also
gritty.
tall too, like him.
He's not. No. O'Malley's way taller.
Oh, okay. So
Way
he still
taller.
has that height advantage on him?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if let me put it this way: if Sean O'Malley can deal with the grappling and get back to his feet, he's gonna kill Aljamain.
Okay, so
Certainly-
in pure striking,
Yeah.
he's got it.
Oh,
Okay.
it's not even close.
So no matter what, he's gonna have to take it to the ground if he wants any type of.
He's gonna have to try a lot, but also you have to get in on this kid. And this kid is a sniper.
Yeah.
He's so good, dude. That fight against Peter Yan, people are mad about it, like, oh, Peter Yan won, blah, blah, blah. No matter how you see the fight, the kid was in there with one of the best in the entire UFC. And he didn't just put on a show. Like, you can argue both ways. He did more damage than Peter Yan did, by far. He actually did. He split his head open, dude. He cracked him a bunch. Like, it was a great fight. What a great fight that was.
But so again, you know, I guess they looked at it like his wrestling, and then you know how we were talking about that. Like, we always think that somebody with more like physical damage done to them, they lost, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if they walk out of there hurt, but meanwhile they just laid on top and kind of controlled it.
Yes.
You know?
So
yeah.
me and Billy use the schoolyard way of judging a fight. If you saw that same fight happen in a sandbox at school and you went, that dude won, that's the guy that won. I don't care what the judges say. I don't care that, ground control and you laid on him for 5 rounds or whatever. Yeah. If I crack you in your face and bust your eye open and I hit you in the body and you're doubled over and then you lay on top of me for 30 minutes, I beat your ass, bro. I beat your ass.
Yeah.
You have to go home and explain your face to all your friends and family, and all I have to do is say, yeah, he laid on me for a bit.
Yeah, even if he was laying on top of you and you're just tagging him in the side of the head and the face and stuff like that.
Dude, to your point.
How do you not win that?
Did you see Alexander Volkanovski versus Islam Makhachev?
No, but
Okay.
but yes,
To
but
your
he's
point.
great too. Yeah.
Alexander the Great, baby. So
Yeah.
to your point, so in that fight, if you guys watched it, Alexander Volkanovski was winning on the feet. He did a really good job. At one point, Islam Makhachev, he gets him on the ground. He's wrestling him. He has him he's backpacking him, but like sitting down.
Yeah.
And Volkanovski's just punching him in the face over his shoulder repeatedly.
He's so amazing.
And he's smiling. He's like, is that all you got? He's talking shit, punching him in the face. They gave Islam Makhachev the round for control. And I'm like, dude,
What?
if I saw that at school, I'd be like, yo, you got your ass beat. You got whooped. He got whooped, bro. He got whooped. I think Alexander Volkanovski won that fight.
Yeah, they need to redo the entire like setup
Scoring
of how they
system.
score that. Yeah, that's absolutely
Because
ridiculous.
the thing is like, all right, so you got wrestling and jiu-jitsu and all that's great. And I understand, but you can't eye gouge. You can't grab someone's ball bag. You can't spit in their face. You can't bite. So a lot of things that you could do to get out of holds, you can't do in UFC. So you shouldn't count it as high. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're holding on to me and I could headbutt you in the bridge of your nose and get out of it, but I'm not allowed to do it, then I'm just stuck.
Yeah.
You're tying my hands behind my back and then saying he's the winner. Meanwhile, when we're on the feet, I'm smashing you in the face and punishing you and beating your ass, making you look stupid.
It's almost like a who's heavier contest. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
That's why I hated Khabib, because he's like the Russian blanket, dude. I couldn't stand that shit, man.
Yeah.
But also, it's like they have to change the rules or the scoring system to make it fair. But nothing's perfect.
Yeah.
Nothing's perfect, man. It's hard.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got another one going in here. Is this a weird show? It is.
Oh, it's very weird, man. I feel like this is going to be our worst performance today.
I don't know, dude. Can I tell you something? I'm sick.
You're not sick.
Yeah, I am.
From what?
Dope.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Well, then.
That's why, dude.
Well, what's my excuse?
You know what's so
What's
funny?
my excuse,
You've
then?
been drinking, but I'm telling you right now. Listen. Oh, sorry. Listen. You know what's so funny though?
This is Aquafina.
I'm sitting next to this guy and I'm dying, right? And I'm going like this, like, and I'm sweating and I'm going like this and I'm going, yeah. And then I look at the camera, I go, yeah. And inside my body is on fire right now. But it's not like
Don't judge us based off of this performance alone.
Please don't. It's just I'm going way lower. I don't want to walk back into those other doors. You know, I'm talking about the doors where we were.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to walk into those doors like on the same thing that I left with. Does that make sense?
Do you want to tell them?
Yeah, I don't give a shit. I'm on Suboxone. I take strips and I take a lot of them, and I've been crutching it for years and stuff like that. But I've been doing a lot of goals lately. I'm losing weight, trying to, want to get this show off the ground and stuff like that.
You could see if you go back to episode 1 and look at them now, night and day.
Yeah.
But you're weaning, right?
Exactly. So now it's like I just cut it in half. I do this ridiculous amount.
For me, like, what's a dose?
A dose. Honestly, man, they take heroin addicts and they in jail.
Give me what's like a breast strip, right? So how big is a strip?
Yeah, exactly. Like a
give me the
Listerine
dimensions.
strip. 1/8.
Okay, so like literally like a Listerine, like a rectangle, a
Exactly.
small rectangle about this big.
Yes, like just like a Listerine strip, same thing.
And there's like perforated lines? That
No,
like,
you just cut them.
cut 'em.
You eyeball it, and you could get about 8. You could get about, if you do 1/8, that's enough to like make you okay, right? Does that make sense? Because it's very very powerful. It packs a punch, right?
Yeah.
I do 2. And I'm like, dude, and it feels good to do 2 because then you're fucked up. But it's like it's completely.
But then you're just on drugs again.
Exactly. And so I might as well be doing methadone because at least that, and it stays in your system for so long. So at least, when I was doing the other stuff, heroin's out in 12 hours, methadone's out in 24.
So this is arguably worse.
Yes. If you're gonna use it, and I'm not saying it's.
So you should switch to heroin.
There's
and wean
a
off
way
that.
to do it where you can wean really easy on these because of the strip system. But if you do it wrong, then you're just on drugs all over again. And I could crutch it and do it, and they just keep giving it to you, and stuff like that. So now I made it difficult to where I should have always been on a strip because then you could get off real easy because it does pack. But if you start like this, there's a system in place. You start on 2 strips for 2 weeks, a strip and a half for 2 weeks, 1 for 2 weeks, half, so on. You know what I mean? I didn't follow that. I like
Who
taking
does?
2 strips. People in programs, in jail, and in
Regulated.
rehabs.
Not I give it to you and then good luck.
They give me 90.
Oh,
every
you're an
month.
addict? You can handle this.
Yeah. And it's like, dude, it's like they give the strips and it's like, okay, yeah, I'll take one. And it's like, now I got so much more sitting in front of me. So I'm like, well, if I take a little more, I feel better. If I take a little more, I feel better.
Sure.
Pretty soon you're doing a shit ton and then, but you can't never catch up to it because then you get used to that and you're like, well, I kind of want that like buzz again. You know what I mean? But,
What's the buzz like?
the buzz is good, dude. I mean, it's
Like painkillers?
Closest you're gonna get is just opiates.
Okay.
Yeah, they're called something else. They're called not benzenoids. Butanols. Butanol is like the main. You know what I mean? Like,
Active
ingredient.
yeah.
So that's what's in it. And buttes are very similar to opiates, but it acts as a blocker. So the good thing about these is like if I take these and I take heroin, I get sick. I get really fucking sick. Like I've had it before too. I've tested that too. And dude, the worst that I ever had was it's called precipitated withdrawal. And what it is basically it's like you go into the worst part of withdrawal instantly. Like the most your body could take. And I was in so much pain I passed out. I started sweating and shitting and crying and I'm going, and I'm screaming and I got the shakes and stuff like that and I'm having hot and cold flashes and I'm completely naked and I'm sitting there shitting and then I take the trash can next to me and I start vomiting, right? And then I walk over to my bed and I'm sitting there and I sat like kind of like this and I went like this and I'm shaking like this and then it was too much and I like kind of passed out and I woke up like 20 minutes later
Covered in shit.
Well, covered in sweat. I picked my head up and I had my head like against the thing and I saw like an outline, like a silhouette in my head. And then I curled up into a blanket and I slept. And then it's funny because it's like it lasts so long. It's in your system for so long. So then the next day I did it again and I did it again. And then finally you were just normal. And what's funny is like you could go back to that. Even after all that, you don't remember that the next time that you're willing to fuck up.
Really?
Yeah, dude. It's bad.
This is
really
a nightmare.
Dude, it is, dude. It's disgusting. Honestly, I love drugs. And even if I got off of opiates right now, I'd still do other drugs.
Sure.
The worst thing that I ever could have did was take opiate. I like other drugs. I enjoy other drugs. I like having fun. I like dropping something and having a good night and stuff like
do
that.
some
There's
Molly?
nothing wrong. Yes.
Some Molly, baby?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's when I fucking started stupid opiates. My dad loved to get fucked up. And I remember the first time he ever had something, he got a script for 90 Lortabs, the Blues, the footballs.
Blues.
Remember
The Blues.
Yeah.
That was our generation's Quaaludes.
They were wonderful.
They're outlawed.
And I remember he's like, you want some? And I'm like, yeah. And he gives me, and this dude, he liked to fly like I do. You've seen it, you know what I mean, with other stuff. And he liked to fly and he takes his hand and he pours in his hand and he drops 5 in my hand. And he tells me to take them and he gives me 50 milligrams worth of Lortab. And I take it and I'm waiting for them to kick in. And I knew I had to run around the street or run down the street to the grocery store. And I'm driving and it hits me. And I remember I was so fucked up and I was spinning so bad I had to pull over, and I sat in a parking lot and I'm sitting and I'm spinning and I'm just going, and I'm spinning. And I remember thinking in my head, and the sun was shining on me, and I remember thinking in my head, this is the greatest fucking feeling ever.
Oh my God.
And dude, I've been on that shit since.
And that
that's
was
the
it.
truth. And that was it. It had, it had me. I was locked. I was fucking locked in. I've quit a couple of times. I've quit for weeks at a time and stuff like that, and then went back and stuff. But this time, listen, I know everybody's like, yeah, this time, and I know it's like, well, you better admit, I'm telling you right now, I'm so fucking burned out on stupid ass opiates, dude. I swear to you, I don't even want to take the ones that I got.
It's not fun anymore.
No, once it stopped being fun, which was years ago, but it's like then everything gets in the way. It's like I hate getting sick. The problem with opiates or buttes or anything like that is that imagine you're going through the worst flu possible. You have the flu. You feel like shit. Yeah. COVID was nothing. You have a flu. You have this horrible flu. You like I said before, you're sweating, cold flashes, you're sneezing, you're coughing, you feel like shit. Your fucking body, you can't even move. But you're looking over on the counter and you have something that will instantly make you okay.
You're not going to take it. You're not going to take it.
That's a tough thing. Of course
you are.
So the truth is, it's like when I do it now, it's like I need to taper. I need to go as low as possible.
You should have to go in every week and get your dose from a doctor.
I used to do it. Yeah.
That's the way to do it. That would be like I
used to go get methadone in the morning, and you know what they had in the.
But they shouldn't offer an alternative. It should have to be supervised, like testosterone.
Yeah.
So like I'm a nicotine addict. I'm vaping like crazy. By the way, Mike Tyson's brand of vape is amazing.
It's so good.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Dude, it's the George Foreman grill of nicotine.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Bomb.
So that would be like, all right, so I want to get off this. So I go to a doctor and he goes, okay, I'm going to prescribe you cigarettes, but you only smoke one cigarette a day, and he gives me a pack. I'm smoking the whole pack.
Dude, yeah.
Baby, that's what I'm doing. Woo! My top's down. My fucking hair's blowing in the wind.
I used to go to the clinic to get methadone, and they gave me the juice. And I remember the juice was bomb because, again, it hit you right away. It's this pink juice. And I used to slam the juice. And I remember the hole to the thing was only like this big. And I managed to get my whole tongue in there. And my tongue could barely move. And my tongue would be at the very end of the bottle, look like this. Licking the bottom of the bottle, and I get that little extra juice. I'm like, I go, and I pop that fucker out and go, that is so good. Dude, it's the best, dude. The pink shit is the best, dude. I swear that was the best methadone I've ever been on. It was so good, man.
He starts seeing pink elephants on parade, like Dumbo.
But dude, I'm telling you, there's nothing like, dude, like, cause you wake up sick, right? Like, think that you wake up sick in that first dose of the day, and you feel strong again. There's something to it, and it's scary. But you know what? Honestly, man. What you notice when you get off of it, this is the issue, is that when you get off of it, you don't feel good right away. All of a sudden, you feel like shit, and it's lasting like let's say you're done with
shit.
No, but let's say you're done with the withdrawal, right? But all of a sudden you're waking up and you don't have that jolt of energy that you used to get. So you're just kind of sitting this, but eventually you wake up one day and you're like, you know what? I don't need shit. I feel good naturally. And that's another spot, because it's almost that couple of weeks that, like, after the initial withdrawals, you got to get through that.
There's a misconception of, like, when you're not addicted anymore, it doesn't mean that your body is healed.
Yeah, you're not going to have the greatest time ever.
You're not chemically dependent, but your body has been on those drugs for so long. It's not, you don't have an equilibrium.
Yes.
You're not in homeostasis.
Yeah.
So it takes a while for you to, like, basically get back to neutral and feel good again naturally, even though you're not chemically dependent.
Yeah. And then eventually you reach this point where you're like, dude, I feel good. Like, I don't need it. And then even then, looking back, you're like, you start remembering all the good things, like, oh man, that shit felt good. You start telling good stories and shit like that. But this time, listen, look, is it going to happen? I don't know. Look, I got a plan in place, but I don't know, man. I've been failing for years on it,
Stop being addicted, bro.
I know,
Stop being
man.
addicted, bro.
Stop.
What's wrong with you, bro?
I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me.
I'm just crop dusting you with Mike Tyson's vape.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Kids don't do drugs.
No, yeah, basically what it comes down to. You know what? Talking about that though,
Unless it's Molly.
Now that I got but being
or
real,
magic mushroom.
now that I like got that off my chest, like how I do feel better now. Like it's tough when you're sitting there and I'm sweating and it's like nobody understands. Like you're sitting here and you're like fucking dying, but I feel better now. I really do.
Guys,
I really
we're just regular people with
That's
regular
it.
problems. That's
That's
all
it.
we are. We're not trying to portray greatness or perfection or any of this
Nope.
bullshit. We're just regular fucking guys.
But I think that's why, like, the people that do listen to us kind of like resonate. You know what I mean? I think they see that, man. People that are fed up of just like the everyday bullshit that like they're trying to
This
sell
is
to
the
you now.
truth of reality.
Yes.
This is what people really are. This is it. Are you looking at the next story?
I do. I got one. Why did you want to continue talking about this? I got one.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so I wanted to give you that review of Peter Pan and Wendy, man. I dropped that shit not years ago, shows ago. I dropped that. Dude, I
see
told
the
you,
future.
I'm not on it today. But I dropped a comment on that show about that movie like some shows ago, like a lot, and I said like it was just like kind of like just got announced. I'm like,
We talked
well,
about
it's
like
out
10
now.
episodes ago.
Yeah, that's a lot of episodes though, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
That's weeks.
Okay, yeah. So, anyways, it's out now, and man, it's even worse than what the
Than I imagined.
Yeah, it's even worse than I imagined, dude. Honestly, like Disney's so bad now, dude. You know what it is? So out comes this little like Indian Peter Pan.
I was gonna say fruitcake.
Dude, like redheads in film are like just no longer. They're extinct. That's all there is to it. So Peter Pan, he's this little Indian dude now, and you find out him like the backstory. They gotta have this gritty and raw and miserable backstory. You find out that Peter Pan and Captain Hook were the very first Lost Boys, and they came there together. And
Okay, I'm with you so far.
yeah, and then Captain Hook's like, Peter, I miss my family. I want to go home. So Peter's like, then get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? So he finds out that the ocean's kind of a bigger place. So he goes and he gets lost and he comes back and he's an old man now because he grew up. You know, he was away from Neverland. And he's like, Peter, I'm back. You know, and Peter Pan's like, no. And cuts his hand off and feeds it to a crocodile. So they made Peter Pan evil.
So he's a dick.
Yes, he's a monster, right? So then that goes on, right? Like the everything's fine. And then another thing is, do you remember on Hook how much fun they had? The point of the Lost Boys is it was a 24-hour playtime.
They were kids.
They were kids, and they could be a kid like crazy, right? So they wanted to have fun. You know what I mean? No, what were you gonna say?
Our studio audience, Jenny, is
No, but she
chomping at the
knows.
bit.
No, she knows.
You want to
dude.
talk about it? You want to come up?
Rumpus.
Oh, Rumpus. Oh, Rumpus time. Have you? All right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Complete side note. We were watching Step Brothers last night.
Yeah.
And he was like, Rumpus time is over, like screaming at a Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly.
Yeah.
I've never heard the word rumpus before in
No,
my life.
God, no,
It's like
right.
romping, I guess. Like Rumpus time. He's like, Rumpus time
And
is over.
it means play. Yeah.
To romp.
To romp.
So anyway, back to this horse shit.
Okay, so remember how in Hook, like the kids were all they playing basketball, they were skating, Rufio's flying through the thing, fucking with swords.
Rufio.
Yeah, like they were having fun.
Rufio.
They're like, we kill pirates. That's what we do. Like these kids are fun, right? They were all on. Honestly, I'm not even joking. You. Every one of these kids was on Zoloft. I
have ADD.
Dude, yeah, there was a mountain of Zoloft in this leaky, shitty, depressing cave that the Lost Boys lived in. Bro, honestly, dude, it was miserable. The landscape was miserable. They'd sit around the fire and they'd all be talking, and there were all these depressed kids and stuff. And like, listen, I'm sure that's what the Lost Boys would be now. Fine, I'll give that to them. But dude, honestly, this is still like nonfiction or nonfiction.
Fiction.
Oh, fiction, yeah. So they're sitting around this fire and they're all miserable and stuff like that. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, dude, wait a second here. Like you couldn't even. These kids ain't even having fun. Right?
And they're staying.
And then Wendy, oh God, dude. Wendy was the best at everything. She was about it, dude. She had to save Peter
Of course she
four
was.
times,
Of
dude.
course she did.
Dude, and you know who else was there? So do you remember they had the little Indian girl? I forgot what her name was. It was like something pony or some bullshit. Who cares? But the little Indian girl was like a god. Like they made her a god, bro. Peter fell down this thing and like cracked every bone in his body. Like he was done. And the little Indian girl walks up and she's like, hey, I'm a god, and rubs something on his chest. And he's like, and he like wakes up and stuff like that. And I'm thinking in my head, like, wait a minute, he's the hero. Peter Pan, the whole point of Peter Pan is he was this scrappy, like getting to the age of like wanting girls and wanting more and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And fighting and stuff like that. And he wouldn't think about his next move and he would do crazy stuff. That was the whole point and stuff. You know what I mean? Like that was Peter. That was what it was all about. And he ran this thing of adolescent boys that were also just like childish, and that was their whole point. And it was him that would long for something more. So when he met Wendy, he was like, oh my God, like this girl, I just met my match. I like her. You know what I mean? Johnny Tsunami,
Johnny
what up,
boy.
dog? And so, you know, so they do that. Now, man, when Wendy was like, Peter, get over here, doing whatever, like just running shit. It was depressing.
I want to do a sequel to the original Peter Pan where he goes back with Wendy and he marries her and he's in like a shitty, miserable relationship and he ends up being like domestically violent. He's like Peter the Beater.
Yeah, and he just keeps thinking of a Neverland, and so like he devises this plan to go back to Neverland, right? So he comes up and she's standing by the windowsill, and he goes, "Remember our kids," and he pushes her, and she falls out of a 2-story London home, slamming her head on some cobblestone walkway and just dead.
He flies down and saves her, but then drops her from higher.
Yes. And next thing you know, he's in some shitty London prison going, "I want to go to Neverland. I want to go to Neverland." Kids are crying and shit.
There's a documentary called Peter the Beater.
Oh my God.
Pizza.
Yeah, Peter the hitter over the head with a pan. Oh my
He's like, and now
God.
cook with it.
Yeah, I know. Cook, fool. Or I'll take your
He's
fucking hand off.
misogynistic as
Yeah, everything's a pun.
He's still wearing all green with that stupid hat.
The
She's like,
tights,
he's
the
50.
Stupid tights is scratching his
He's 50 years
ass.
old.
Yeah. Oh, that's too funny. Dude.
She's like, take that off. And he goes, like Stephen Crowder, he goes, watch it.
Yeah, watch it.
Watch it.
Points his foot at her. Watch it. Watch it. And she's
like,
smoking some nasty cigar.
I'm committed to you, Peter the Beater. I'm committed. I love you so much.
Yeah, dude, that Crowder shit, that was the biggest victim. Like that. Let's just talk about Hillary. Like, forget we've done Crowder, but just talking about Hillary. Did you see her? Did you know how terrified she was? I'm committed to you. I love you. I'm ready. And he's like, dude, could you imagine? Like you're sitting there and you're doing all that, just doing everything you can to like salvage that relationship. And this guy goes, "No, you're not." You don't want, and you don't want to touch the dog shit or anything.
Peter works for Crowder. He's like Peter Beater.
Yeah. Oh, dude, did you? Speaking of, okay, one more thing about him. I swear to God, did you see that Brian Callen video?
No.
Dude, Brian Callen is all excited to be working with Crowder, right? So he takes
His big break.
Yes, his big break. No more fucking stupid ass Brandon Schaub, right? So he takes his Instagram video and he goes, "We're here, baby. We're doing the best show." And Crowder goes, and he looks over and he goes, "You're still not ready?" Like mean, right? And then he goes, "Whoa." He goes, "Are you live?" And he's like, "Yeah, man." He's like, he's doing everything to like salvage it and make it fun. And Crowder goes, "Do you have any idea that I could have been doing something bad in that moment and you put a camera on me?"
What?
Screams at
What?
Scolds him. And then dig this, right? Same episode they get on, right? I swear to God, you're going to love this because I got to show this to you, right? So Brian Callen and
It can't be
Crowder,
the light.
Dude, he
No,
leans
dude,
over.
no.
Dude, he leans over, right? You hear, right? You hear, right? And then you hear Brian, I'm sorry, you don't hear Brian Callen. Brian Callen goes, and sits down in his seat, and Crowder starts doing a rant. Yeah.
No.
Yes.
And then he looks over, he's like, Peter.
Yes.
Beat him.
Peter, get this fucker.
Peter the Beater comes out. And
Oh
fucks up
my
Brian
gosh.
Callen, dude.
It was so bad. It was so uncomfortable, bro. I swear to God, that
He's
light.
a piece of shit,
Dude,
man.
and you know what's so funny, dude? Honestly, tell me they're not going to get like a signal or something to turn on the light. So, you know what I mean? So he doesn't get called out on it anymore, dude. That light was... Oh, dude, it was so bad, dude. Brian Callen just has to sit there and shut up. Dude, honestly, creatively, that would cripple you. It would
Of course
cripple
it
you,
would,
dude.
man.
You would just feel
Of
like
course it
you would
would.
feel like a jerk off. And then the light goes off and it's like, I'm sorry, what, you want me to like come up with something fun now? You want me to have fun with this now? The money better be worth it, dude. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not bullshitting. At some point in the not too distant future, I'm going to have a light made.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have a "Don't Talk Billy" light made. You're not gonna see it. It's gonna
And
be
I'm
on
gonna go like
that wall.
this. And every time I do it, I'm gonna go.
And while in the middle of like a glorious rant, like something fantastic, a monologue that you're doing,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go,
And I'm gonna be like this, I'm gonna go.
and I'm just gonna stare.
Oh my God, dude.
Peter.
Yeah, Peter the Beater. Duh, that was crazy. Well,
Poor
that
Brian
was.
Callen, man.
What do you think?
What are you, tapped out?
No, dude.
We can never air this.
No, we have to air this. Then we have to air this.
We
one.
air everything, guys.
We air
it all.
everything. Yeah.
This is not our best work. Or maybe it is. I actually don't know until we watch it back.
No, I'm gonna try this right now. Can I tell you this, man? I guarantee you this episode is gonna be a banger. We didn't talk about anything like. Listen,
I'm going to tank it. I'm just going to tank it.
shit, and just.
Slavery was a myth. It was only 1,000 Jews. I'm going to do every worst thing you can do.
It's like 6 million. The population of Poland was only 4.
We're just
Dude,
way
that'd be
off
so
the
bad,
rails.
dude. Just like inciting this random shit.
My girl Jenny's here. She's the studio audience. I'm going to treat her like Crowder.
Watch it. Watch it.
I already gave you
Another drink.
quietly. I slid it.
Dude, honestly, it was so funny though. The
did you hear
cigar
that?
was going to, and
that
he's
sound
just
empty
sitting
to
there
you?
scratching the dog, smoking the cigar. Like it just looked like out of a movie, man. I think. What do you think's up with that dude,
Steven
man?
has a mangina.
Oh my God,
And some
man.
of the nastier parents joined in. It was his own mom.
Oh my God, that was too funny, bro.
Adam Scott, dude. You want to punch me?
That
you wanna
dude-
punch me, don't you?
That dude's really funny.
He's
That dude's
greatness.
really funny. I saw him in where he was the lead. Did you see Little Evil? It was good.
No,
It was
what's
damn
that?
good. He gets into this relationship and the chick has a little boy and he winds up being the son of the devil. Like they used her in some ritual and the devil like Rosemary's Baby, and he has to be a stepdad to the kid. He does a great job though. He's really funny, dude. He
Is it?
really does. Yeah.
I'll check it out.
Netflix, yeah.
This
But before you gotta watch your slave movies. You gotta watch 12 Years a Slave,
my
and you gotta watch Roots. All the parts of Roots. Roots was good.
Django doesn't count.
Roots was damn good, bro.
I gotta see Roots, man. So, all right, side note entirely, this is completely off topic. I'm throwing one out of left field. My barber, the guy that cuts my beautiful hair, his name is Rome. Shout out to Rome. Hey, buddy. So, all right, this fucking guy, he likes the most graphic, violent, despicable movies. That's all that, moves the needle for him. So, I've been trying to impress this guy for, fucking 6 years, man. So, I recommended a movie called The House That Jack Built. It's one of my favorites. It's genuinely disturbing. It's super fucked up. This dude watches it 2 nights ago. He texts me while he's watching. He's like, I had a hard time staying awake. They didn't have enough graphic. So he recommended the Human Centipede 2
Yeah.
and a movie called Martyr.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've probably seen both. That's
Yeah.
why that's why I'm talking to you about it. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so without a doubt, without even seeing these movies yet, I'm sure they're the most fucked up things that the human mind can imagine. So what I'm asking for from you guys or from you is, what can I recommend to this guy to blow his mind? I have to get this done. One day I have to impress him. I can't impress. The House That Jack Built wasn't good enough. That wasn't fucked up enough.
He's seen Hereditary.
Yeah, he hates it. And Midsummer. He said it was garbage. Give me something. All right, so the Human Centipede 2, there's no doubt it's going to be the most deplorable thing that, again, the human mind can possibly imagine.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
right.
I've seen the Human Centipede 1 and 2. 2 was the prison, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know.
Right?
Let's take a side road. So you've seen Martyr and Human Centipede 2.
Yeah, Martyr's on Netflix. MART
TYR.
and then R, right? Yeah.
something
right?
like that,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
So
yeah.
is it that fucked up? It has to be.
Listen, I watch all the horrors on Netflix, and yeah, I've seen that. I don't remember.
All right, so
I'd have to go
dig
back.
deep into your repertoire of shitty, fucked up films.
And I will give you one.
Can
yes.
you tell me one?
Yes.
Can you think right now?
Oh, a Serbian film.
What is it?
A Serbian film.
A Serbian film. Is that the name of it?
I believe so. Let me just make sure.
What the fuck is that?
As those 2 guys killing a dog and then hitting
John
that
Wick?
dude. Yeah.
Immediately. Guys, if you have any kind of crazy messed up movie that I could recommend to this guy, please put it in the comments. I'm gonna get him. He doesn't watch the show. He doesn't know this is coming.
I'll put it in the comments too. Is
Why
that
would you
good?
just text me?
I know, but I figured because I don't want to not interact with this because I do. I'll find him a good one.
Peter.
Peter.
It's called A Serbian Film? Okay. All right. Yeah, we're going to get him, man. We're going to get him. Rome,
Yeah.
you piece of shit, man. I don't know what to do to impress you. I thought The House That Jack Built was going to be a home run.
Yeah. But I mean, it sounds like he just likes gore.
Yeah.
right?
She calls it torture porn.
Yeah, because I mean, listen, I like psychological.
It's not
a lot
just
more than
it's not
gore.
just gore.
But he
It
likes
needs
shit
to
that's
be-
messed up.
It needs to be messed up. It needs to be artistic and he has a very he's a barber. Like he has a very creative mind. He's
eccentric.
an amazing imagination. So
Yeah.
it can't just be like gore that's dumb. It has to be creative and like I told him that for the first time I watched the movie Seven last week, and he was like, it was a good movie, but it was too PG-13. He's like, I wanted to see him feeding the guy. I wanted to see him torturing the guy.
I got one. Bone Tomahawk.
Bone Tomahawk.
Yes.
Bone Tomahawk.
Yes. Or End the Wind. End the Wind. Tell him Bone Tomahawk, End the Wind.
Text me
They're
these.
okay. Beautiful. I got it. I swear to God, those are good. Those are damn good.
And the Serbian.
That's Serbian.
A Serbian? A Serbian.
Am I spoiling it if I give a part of Bone Tomahawk?
No, do it.
So
I'm not going to watch it.
there's-
I'm just going to give it to him and pretend like I watched
There's
it.
this tribe. So the women are only good for birthing, right? So there's this tribe, they blind them.
True.
And they cut their limbs off. They blind them, cut all 4 limbs off their arms and their legs, heal them, blind them, and they leave them on this counter. So the guys just walk up and fuck their torsos, and then they have birth, feed them every day, and then they just deliver the babies, and if they're males, they keep them.
Ew.
Yeah.
Why?
And dude, you see it. You see them. There's just
you see it. That's
there's
paramount
these 2
for him.
stubs. You know the only you saw it, right? Oh, okay. Bone Tomahawk's insane. The only thing that I would have done because they were running out of the cave. Why didn't you shoot those 2 in the head? You'd leave them there because they murdered.
I didn't see it.
Oh, dude, you got to watch it. It's insane.
I'm not going to watch it.
Dude, it's what's his name? Kurt Russell, bro.
I love Kurt Russell.
I love Kurt Russell too. I really do.
Kurt Russell's a gem.
My favorite thing in Hateful Eight, Kurt Russell, he walks in and he's like, you shut your mouth. He goes, I'll hit you right in the goddamn mouth in front of these people. I don't give a fuck. It was the best. It was the best scene in that movie besides and I took my big black Johnson and ran it straight down his goddamn throat. And it was warm too because of the blood.
Dude. By the way, what a movie.
What
man.
a movie. Dude,
What a fucking movie.
is Quentin Tarantino done? Is that it? It's over?
He says that
I hope not.
I think his next movie is his last one, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was it.
No, he has one more, he said. That's what he said.
I hope not, dude. The world needs him. The world needs him so bad.
Hateful Eight was underrated.
Yeah. I think
Also,
people
not
are
just
scared
'cause-
to touch it because of all the
Not just
racial
'cause-
shit.
He does that in every movie. Not just because of the dialogue and like how like fucked up it was or whatever. It's the type of film that he used to shoot that. The color palette and like it's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's
gorgeous.
beautiful.
The
He
landscape,
was talking- he used a certain type of film they don't use anymore.
8
to shoot
millimeter.
that. Was that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It was
Yeah.
amazing. Just artistic, beautiful. Dude, the costumes, the set pieces,
Yeah.
glorious.
Yeah, how he was Samuel L. Jackson was a Union soldier.
Yeah,
and
man.
he had that stripe, and it still was there with the white gloves, the white leather
Beautiful.
gloves. It was beautiful.
The
It was
colors
absolutely
just
beautiful.
popped in that movie, dude. Oh
and the
my God.
general, he still had his rebellion, his grays on.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. It was
a great
amazing.
movie.
Yeah. I like how vicious it was too. Like when they went in there, and he's like, and he gave the signal, and she goes, "You want me to roll you another one?" And Channing Tatum's like, "Boom, boom, boom."
He was dope in that.
Shoots that young girl off the
Yes.
ladder. Oh, it was so
Yes.
good. It was so.
He pops out of the
freaking good.
floorboard like a Jack in the Box, dude.
Yes. He's like, "How you doing, ugly?" And then Samuel Jackson shoots him in the head. It's just like he was giving up. He's like, "Yeah, well, he took too goddamn long."
That's gold.
Ah, it was too good, man. All right, like
What else do we got?
That's it, dude.
What?
You tell me, man. Hold
This
on.
can go on for a million years, buddy.
Do you want to?
This is the lost episode, by the way. I'm pretty sure that this is going to end our career before it even gets
No,
started.
I'm telling you, people love shit like this, man. Unless they don't. Look, not only was it a.
By the way, when we start talking about all the slavery stuff, I'm going to have it scroll up and say not racist.
boom, boom, just in
Like
three.
Crowder's
Yes,
Light, dude.
yes.
Crowder's Light.
Boom, boom.
Not racist.
If you put that, they can't hold anything.
Guys,
against
I'm
us.
just trying to get to the bottom of what it is. That's all it is.
Yeah.
That's all. I don't have a fucking dog in this fight, man.
No.
It is what it is.
No, but dude,
I want to know the truth.
the truth is
I'm
nobody
tired of the
does.
yelling and screaming. No. There is literature out there. I just want to have a clear picture as to what the fuck is going on once and for all. I'm tired of being yelled at. I'm tired of like listening to just nonsense and editorializing and bits. No one reads, man. No
Yeah.
one reads. No one reads. I'm gonna leave it there.
I'm Nicholas. I listen. He says it doesn't count, but I listen to audiobooks.
It does. I didn't say that. I never said that.
Well, didn't you say it's not the same thing though? I mean, of course not the same thing.
Not because the information is different.
Okay,
It's not the same thing as reading.
But here's the thing. This is what I just finished it. It was 46 hours. I listened to it while I drive, listened to it at the gym and stuff like that.
You listened to
Did I read that book?
Of it?
46
no,
hours.
No, you
of
didn't
it.
read it. You heard it.
That's what I'm saying. But I mean, but it's still there.
It doesn't.
Right?
Yeah, it
Still
doesn't mean you didn't get the
registers,
story.
right? Yeah.
When you read a book, you're using your concentration and your power of mind to absorb the information. It's more engaging. Also, it's taxing. Also, it builds the strength of concentration.
Well,
so it's like a workout.
You know what's funny too?
Doesn't mean you're not going to like absorb the information.
I've seen. By the way, Stephen King's unreal, but I've seen both. I've seen both movies. Right. I saw the one in the '90s that was like a made-for-TV Lifetime was shit, and then I saw the newer one, which is all right. It was closer to the story than this one. And then you read the book, and I'm telling you this right now, dude. 2 chapters in, I had my own like idea of who Bill was, who Ben was, you know, and there was just one scene like that really fucked me up at the end of it. Yes. Yeah.
What was it?
Dude, they're all 12 years old and they're so scared of it that they're freaking out and Bill's like, we gotta stay together because he's a stutterer. He's like, we gotta stay together. And Beverly, she put all these things together, these pieces together, and she goes, I know what we have to do. And she takes her clothes off and she gets naked in front of them. They're all 12-year-old boys, and one by one they fucked her. And
Ew.
Yeah, one by one, they're 12 years old. And
But why?
because she took them into manhood. And they were together, and they needed this.
Ew.
And she took them all, and the way they were describing it, there wasn't no passion there. It was that they all loved each other so much. These group of kids that have been through so. I mean, if you hear the story, I'm telling you right now, they've been through so much, and everything was so dark at that point, and it was this vicious thing that it was almost like something that they all shared in. Like it was almost like their little ritual. She took all these boys into manhood, and then that's how they wind up beating them the first time, and then they had to come back when they were all adults, and that was it, and it was a big deal. It was, dude, and I'm listening to it, and dude, and you can't help but to like picture things. So like this child pornography is going on in my head while I'm driving, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on, man? And you know what's so funny?
He turns
though?
it up.
No,
He's like, let me turn it up a couple notches.
I don't know if it's Stephen King or whatever, but you know who the only one that he didn't mention that was there? This is kind of weird.
Sorry.
The only one that he didn't mention was Mike, the black kid. Yes, he didn't mention him.
Fucking racist.
I know. I'm like, hey, Mike got in there too. Mike's in the club. You know what I mean?
He ruined that vagine.
He gets up. He's like, yeah, just big.
I'm gonna rearrange those guts.
They're like, Mike's like, I'll go first. All the other boys are like, no, you're not.
Last.
No, but it was kind of trippy just hearing it because it's like, man, that's like really controversial. Like, and dude, they were young. They were ages like 10 to 13.
What the fuck,
Yeah.
dude?
And they were talking about like
The movie
her little
doesn't
body and her little supple
depict that at
breasts.
all.
No. You think, dude, honestly, it's funny because in the 90s they couldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole, and you think now that things are different. No, in 2022 they weren't touching the thing with a 20-foot pole. They left that out of the story, plain and simple. That was it.
Our neighbor across the street is a clown.
Yeah, it's a clown.
His wife is super hot, and he's a clown, graduated from clown school.
She was walking the
Clown college?
Yeah,
Did they call it college?
yeah, they call it clown college.
Sure, okay.
She was walking out with the baby, and I remember Nick was sitting there on the computer, and I go, man, pull that titty out and nurse that baby.
Yeah, every day. The first time he saw her, we were setting up, so like you can't see the rest of the room, but there's a window like right here, and he saw her across the street. And he's like, "Who's that?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I just moved here." And so like every single day for like the last month, we would come and set up, and he'd just be like peeking through the blinds.
Yeah, dude. Little did I know, Krusty's over there donkey smashing that. You know what I mean? You got Bobo over there just doing work.
As he's banging her, he's waterboarding her with a flower.
Yeah. or the money shot comes out and he pulls out a daisy and it shoots water in her face. You know?
Oh my god.
Wouldn't that be hilarious, dude? Or she's like, give me a cream pie, and he goes, bam, and smashes a pie in her face.
Cream pie.
Yes. That'd be so fucking funny, dude. And she's like, I got cum all over me. Can you give me a towel? And he goes, like, Nick, look.
Can I?
Yeah. And he's like, don't actually use those. I use those for work. Don't actually use those.
What's our safe word? He's like,
Yeah.
twist it into a stop balloon.
Oh, dude, that is so funny, dude. What a random thing, though.
He's got giant shoes on.
He did have giant shoes. She sent a picture to Johnny of the big old shoes and stuff. Yeah, man.
Dude, this episode is wild, bro.
This was the most out of crazy like episode we had. But I told you, man, I'm sick, man. But I came over. We were gonna do it no matter what. Yeah.
So I hope this was entertaining for you.
Just notice that before I said anything to him, just notice me over here. My head was on fire. My skin's like falling off my body. I had the crawlers. I have sweat coming out of my ass, and I'm just sitting here and I'm going, yeah.
Right before we shot, I'm like, "Are you ready?" And I'm like, "Are you crying?"
No, yeah. He goes, I forgot the meditation today. I go, yep, we're ready. And I go, it's so bad.
It's panic depressed.
I gotta get off this. I want to get. You know what? I'll be
my
good.
God.
I want to get down to a half. I think that will at least like I'm telling you, that's enough where I'm not like out of my mind. You know what I mean? That's enough where it's like
I'm gonna level with you. What you have to do is suffer.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to suffer and go through it, man. So
Yeah.
my recommendation would be to wean it down to where you're sick, and then just take anxiety pills and pass out for like 2-3 days.
Yeah.
And then get addicted to those.
No, I never could though, dude. I swear to you, I never could. I hate stuff that puts me to sleep. I would have got addicted to this forever. I used to take Xanax but it was never like an all the time thing. Like I'd take Xanax, I could easily not do them the next day. I had them.
I'm gonna
It was
put your
nothing.
fate. I'm gonna put your fate in the audience's hands. So Billy G here hasn't smoked weed in like decades.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that he can't handle it at this point in time. So
No.
we have done multiple episodes where we have been on. I did mushrooms on one episode. It's episode 13. You can go check it out. Blah blah blah. If you want to see Billy G high on camera,
Yeah.
put it in the comments.
Yeah.
And he will do anything for the show.
I'll do anything for
I'm
the
holding him hostage.
But it's only one like hit. Okay, is that cool? Like enough where I'm high, but like not like
Okay.
going crazy. Like I'm fucking. What is that 5-gallon water bong thing?
Yes,
That
I'll give
gravity.
you a hit. I'll give you a hit, buddy. It's gonna be a dab, but it's gonna be a hit. No. I'll give you a regular hit. Just
That's
a regular
like heroin weed, right?
Dude.
Dabs.
gold leaf cement shoes right to the face, man. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
You'll be all right.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. You'll forget who you are, but you'll be fine.
You know, I'd rather. You know what? And you're right though. If I'm gonna do it, I might as well like go
On the show.
Yeah, I might as well.
Can't be worse than this one.
No, God no. It's sick. Sick as shit. All right. Well,
Should I take us out?
Take us out. Take us out of here, man.
All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Ready for the outro?
Ready for the outro.
All right. Always remember, have your conversations, not their conversations. Talk to your friends. Talk to your family. Let's be people again. God bless till the next time. Peace.